Elected officials and government leaders here in New Hampshire both like to say New Hampshire has some of the best run elections in the country. But despite that love for local elections, Republican leaders in the state are constantly trying to change New Hampshire voting laws in ways many critics say makes it a lot harder for certain groups to vote. This year, they're pushing House Bill 1569, legislation that just passed the New Hampshire House of Representatives. This bill would require anyone seeking to register to vote in the state to bring not just ID, but proof of citizenship. This would include a passport or an original birth certificate. We spoke to Matt Mooshian, Advocacy and Engagement Director at 603 Forward, a New Hampshire-based advocacy organization that focuses on a range of issues, including voting rights in the state, to learn more about this bill and how it could affect voting in New Hampshire.
House Bill 1569, which would make New Hampshire one of the most restrictive states for voter rights in the country. We haven't seen a bill like this really in any part of the country that would require you to have proof of citizenship. What this means is that if you don't have one of your original birth certificates or the original social security card or a passport, you don't have evidence to prove that you're a citizen, so you wouldn't be able to register to vote. This goes beyond voter ID. This is a law that is really punitive and is denying folks the ability to register to vote if they don't have physical proof of those documents. Anyone who is less likely to have or to find those documents, so we're talking new Americans, more transient folks, or folks experiencing homelessness, folks who may be foreign-born active duty military members, and our veterans who also may be less likely to find these documents or have these documents. I mean, a friend of mine had a story of how she would have been affected. She had recently moved to go vote after work, but had to register because it was her first time voting in her new town. When she went after work, she didn't have her documents with her because she was just making it right before the polls closed. So she didn't have that physical proof of those four things: age, domicile, identity, and citizenship. So under 1569, if she didn't have those, she would have been turned away from the polls. And living about 25-30 minutes from her polling location, it would have taken too much time to get there and back for her to register and cast her ballot. This is part of a pattern that we see from far-right extreme conspiracy theorist politicians who are wanting to roll back voting rights for certain folks. If you want to know more about 1569 or any other things pertaining to voting rights in New Hampshire, follow 603 Forward or go to 603forward.org.